sitting position today. Comfortable seated position. You might like to sit on a block or a bolster. And let's arrive in our space. Softening your eyes. Let your body fall heavy. Feel the earth underneath your buttocks and underneath your feet. Notice your breathing, taking a big breath in and a big breath out through the nose. You might like to bring your hands, one left hand to your heart, right hand to your tummy. As you breathe in, feel the rise. And as you breathe out, feel the fall. Thank you for being here today. Taking time for yourself. It's important in these times for us to tune in and connect, staying safe, keeping our stress levels down, and filtering what we connect with, connecting with nature and with positive friends, always turning to the beauty of nature to help to ground us. Let's set an intention for our practice today. It might be about joy. It might be about keeping calm and centered. Whatever resonates for you. You've done the hardest part today in getting here, getting to your practice. Taking a few more breaths. Relaxing the shoulders, but lifting the spine. Connecting with your breath. Let's take 4 more breaths. Notice how your body's feeling, physically and mentally. And relaxing our hands onto our knees and rolling our shoulders. Taking some deep breaths. And then bringing our elbows up, just raising it a little bit more. And then bringing our hands up to cactus, squeezing our shoulders back and forward. Inhale as we squeeze back and exhale as we bring our elbows forward. Let's take 2 more. And last one. And bring our hands back to our knees, bringing our left hand to our right knee and our right hand behind us. Lifting up through the spine and twisting towards the right, looking over the right shoulder, or you can keep your eyes softened, feeling a nice twist in your whole spine. Taking some deep breaths here. On each exhalation, just a little more. Let's take 4 more breaths. And last one. And then inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Bring the spine up nice and tall. And each exhalation, twist a little more. Two more breaths. And then coming back to center. And let's take our hands from side to side, stretching through the sides of our body. Inhale as we come up and exhale as we go to the side. Moving in line with your breath. And let's go one more on each side. And then coming on to your hands and knees into tabletop position. Penny, you might like to put a blanket underneath your knees just to give you a bit more padding. And let's take our knees hip width apart, opening up through our hands. Exhale as we bring our body down to our heels and bring your forehead down to the floor for child's pose. Just surrendering into your breathing, allowing your forehead to come closer and closer to the mat on each exhalation. Spreading your fingers and pushing your palms down to the floor. Feeling the stretch through the lower back and the shoulders. Let's take two more breaths here. On the next inhalation, bring your body up and take your chest forward into a half upward dog. And exhale back to child's pose. And we're going to continue on with this flow. Inhaling as you come up. Take your chest forward, looking up, stretching through the front of the body. And exhale back into child's pose. Stretching the lower back and the shoulders. And starting to move our body, getting a little bit warmer. Connecting with your breath. Softening your eyes. Just feeling the flow. Let's take two more rounds. And then coming back to tabletop. And we'll do some cat-cows. Inhaling, lifting the chest, lifting your gaze, having a nice curve in your spine. And then exhale, bring your chin towards your chest, lifting your spine up towards the ceiling, rounding out the back and the shoulders. And then inhale, lift up, nice curve in the spine. So continue on with this one, opening up the little spaces between your vertebrae. Letting your breath initiate the movement. Let's go 4 more rounds. And last round. Bring your hands back underneath you. Bring the right hand towards the middle of the mat. And we're going to start with thread the needle. So as we inhale, lift up the left hand, bring it up towards the ceiling, take your gaze with it. And exhale, bring the left hand underneath you and hover it underneath the right. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring the hand down and hover the hand out to the right side. On the third one, we're going to inhale all the way up and exhale, bring our shoulder and our ear down towards the mat and take the right hand forward And take some breaths here, feeling the stretch through the right scapula, the left scapula. Just come back to your breath and come back to the intention of your practice. Just take 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, bring the left hand back up to the mat. Bring the left hand towards the center of the mat and we'll go to the right side. Inhale, lift the right hand up. Take your gaze with it, twist through the upper back and the chest. And exhale, bring it under the left. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring it back under. And then on our third one, we're going to go all the way up and then bring our right shoulder and ear down towards the mat. Slide the left hand forward and come into a nice deep stretch through the right scapula. Tuning into your breath, feeling that deep stretch on the right shoulder blade. Just breathing into it. 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, bring your hands back up to the mat and bring your body forward. Hands underneath your shoulders. And we're going to push our hands down, lifting up our chest and squeezing our buttocks into a cobra pose. And then exhale, bring your forehead down to the mat. Relax the body. Inhale, lift up through the chest, squeezing the shoulders back and down and squeezing the buttocks. And let's go 2 more rounds. And last one. And then bring your hands underneath your forehead, bending your knees, bringing your knees a little closer together, and just taking your feet from side to side, loosening any tension you might have in your lower back. That's it. Bringing your ear down towards your hands, looking to one side, and then looking to the other side. And then coming back to tabletop. And we're going to go into a flow of downward dog and upward dog. So here Deb, you might want to stand up next to the furniture there to take some weight off your shoulders. So let's tuck our toes under and lift up into our first downward dog, walking our heels to the mat. So this is our coming home pose. Just contemplating your intention. Let the crown of your head point down to the earth, walking your heels down to the mat, stretching out through the back of the legs and the shoulders. And then we're going to go into a flow of upward dog and downward dog. You can come down to your knees and then lift up into upward dog. Or if you feel a little bit more energetic, you can roll over your toes and keep your knees off the mat. So it's up to you. You decide which one feels right for you today. We might do a mix of both. Let's take 4 more. Inhale as you come into the upward dog and exhale as you come into downward dog. And then staying in downward dog, taking your feet wider than the mat
and walk your hands underneath you into a wide-legged forward bend. And let your head fall heavy, your shoulders fall heavy. Slide your hands back underneath you. And just breathe into this inversion. Feeling the stretch down the back of your legs. Feel your lower back opening. And then slight bend of your knees. Come back up to standing up to mountain pose. Feeling really strong in the mountain pose. Bringing your hands down beside you. Bringing your shoulders back and down. This is a very strong pose. Push, squeezing the shoulders back. Let's take a few breaths here. Standing in this strength. Two more breaths. And then releasing. Give your body a little shake and come to the back of the mat. And turning the left toe out slightly. Stepping forward with the right foot into our warrior one pose. Shoulders and hips facing forward. Bring your arms up, raising your chest. Taking some nice deep breaths here, connecting with the stretch through the left hip flexor. And then taking the right hand forward, left hand back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then bring both hands down towards the right foot. If you have a block, you might like to place the block next to your foot. Straighten out the right leg. Inhale, lift up through the left hand and take your gaze up to the left hand into triangle pose. Staying strong here for 4 breaths. And then bring the left hand down to the mat. Inhale, come up to standing. Bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra and give your legs a shake. Nice. And let's go to the other side. This time, turning the right foot out slightly. Step forward with the left foot. Lining up your hips and chest. Inhale, lift up. Bending the left knee. Looking up towards the ceiling. Stretching the body up. And connecting with a stretch on the right hip. Let's take 4 deep breaths here. And 1 more breath. Take the left hand forward, right hand back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Keeping it nice and strong through the left leg. 2 more breaths here. And then lengthen out the left leg, bring both hands down. Bring the block inside the left foot. And raise the right hand and take your gaze up to the right hand into triangle pose. Feel that stretch through the front of the chest as you take the right hand towards the back of the body. 4 breaths. And last breath here. Bring the right hand down to the mat. And then come back up to standing. Come back to mountain pose. And bring your shoulders back and down, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening up through the fingers, squeezing the buttocks. Let's take a few breaths here.
And then release the tension in your shoulders. Let's go into tree pose. So we're going to open up through the right toes and notice the anchor points underneath your right foot. And then we're going to lift the left toes next to the right and then bring the left foot up either below the knee or above the knee. And then bring your hands into heart center. Take the knee out towards the side. Find your drishti point. And let's just relax into the stillness. Just breathing deeply, nice and still. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then relax. Bring the knee forward and bring it down to the ground. Give your leg a shake. And we'll take to the other side, opening up the left toes and connecting with the anchor points under the left foot. Bring your right toes next to the left foot and then bring them up either above the knee or below. Bring your knee out to the side and bring your hands to heart center. Find your drishti point and just relax into the stillness. Focus on your breath. Feeling all your little stabilizers in your ankle coming into play. Two more breaths. Taking the right knee out to the side. And last breath. And release. Give your legs a shake. We'll take it one step further. We'll go into dancer pose, just have a little bit of fun with it. So you might like to have something in front of you that you can reach out to if you lose your balance. We're going to bend our left knee, open up our right toes, and bring the left foot into the left hand, like we're going to do a stretch. As you inhale, kick back with the left foot and take your right hand forward. Let's take 4 breaths here. Really lifting up through the chest, kicking that foot back. And last breath. Nice work. And relax. Give that leg a little shake. And then we'll go to the other side. Okay, so we're going to bend our right knee and bring our right foot into our right hand. Get yourself nice and steady. Bring your knees together. Inhale, kick back. And take the left hand forward. Bring the chest up. 4 breaths. And last breath. Coming back down. Give that little shake. Okay, from here we're going to go into sun salute. Coming to the top of the mat. Let's take 4 rounds. So if you need to rest, you can on any of the rounds. Let's start at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift our arms up. Stretch up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. And then step back into plank. You can bring your knees to the mat if you wish. And then bending your elbows, slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, lift up through the chest into an upward dog. Exhale, tuck your toes under into downward dog. And then take your gaze forward, step forward into forward bend. Inhale, lift your chest and your spine. And exhale, tuck your chest into your legs. Inhale, come back up to standing. And hands back to heart center. Let's take a breath or two to settle our breath down. And then inhale, lift up. Stretching up to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward.
And step back into your plank. Exhale. Drop your body down to the mat. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Roll your toes under. Exhale into downward dog. Step forward into forward bend. Inhale, lift your chest. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, hug your chest into your legs. And inhale, come back up. Back to Anjali Mudra. Okay, you've got 2 more rounds to go. Go at your own pace or come with me. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, fold forward. And step back. Slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, raise your chest. And exhale, take your toes under. Coming into downward dog. Take your gaze towards your hands and then step forward. Into forward bend. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, hug your knees to your chest. Inhale, come back up to standing, hands to heart center. Stepping forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift up. Last round. Exhale, fold forward. And then step back into plank. Slowly bending your elbows. Bring your body to the mat. Inhale, lift up your chest into upward dog. And exhale into downward dog. Take your gaze forward. Step forward. Lifting your chest. And exhale, hug your knees to your chest. Inhale, come back up to standing. Hands back to Anjali Mudra. And softening your eyes. Take your feet a little wider apart. And just take a few breaths here, coming back to the intention of your practice. Now from here, we're going to place our feet along the length of the mat, nice and wide. We're going to inhale, lift our arms up. Stretch up towards the ceiling, stretching the front of your body into a little back bend. And then exhale, bring our hands down to the mat. Heel toe our feet a little wider. Have the crown of our head pointing down to the mat. Let your head fall heavy and your chest fall heavy. And let's relax into a nice wide-legged forward bend. Inversion is great for your immunity, reversing your lymphatic system. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And then walk your hands forward, lifting your chest and stretching out your spine. Heel toe your feet a little closer together. And we're going to come into a yogi squat. So we've got our feet wide. That's it. Yeah, so that's it. Pushing our elbows next to our knees. Keeping our chest up. Nice. Let's take 4 breaths here. Feeling that stretch through the hips. And then release our hands down to the floor. Walk our heels and toes together, hip width apart, and lengthening through the back of the legs into a forward bend, but with our feet close together this time. Let's take 4 breaths here. Feel the stretch down the back of your legs. You might like to tuck your fingers underneath your toes. Stretch out the body, stretch out the legs, stretch out the arms and the shoulders. And then coming down to the mat. And we're going to go into reclining pigeon. So laying on our back, hug our knees to our chest. And then drop the right foot to the mat. Bring the left foot across the front of the right leg. And hug the right leg towards the chest. Bring your hands through the little gap in the legs and clasp them together at the front of the right shin. Or you can draw the left leg towards or hold on to the right thigh. Whatever works for you today. Relaxing your shoulders and your head back onto the mat. And taking some deep breaths. Feeling the stretch through the left glutes. Releasing any tension you might have in the lower back. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And last breath. So allow your hands to be unclasped and let your right foot come down to the mat. Keep the left leg where it is. Bring your hands into cactus. Allow your knees to go to the right side and take your gaze to the left side. So coming into a stretch down the left side of the body. Keeping the shoulders on the ground so you feel a stretch through the front of the chest as well. And on the next inhale, bring your knees back to center and swap your legs over. So you've got your left foot on the ground, bend the right knee, and then reach forward and bring the right leg towards your chest. And you can feed your arms through and grab onto the left thigh or the left shin, whichever works for you. And relax your upper back and head onto the mat. Come back to your breath. On each exhalation, relax into the stretch a little more. Releasing the glute on the right side. Notice if this side is tighter than the other or vice versa. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And last breath. Release your hands, bring your left foot to the mat. And bring your hands up to cactus. Exhale, dropping the knees to the left, gazing to the right. Control into the stretch on the right side of the body. Feeling the stretch across your chest with your shoulders on the mat. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then inhale, bring the knees back to center and hug them towards your chest. And roll your body in a circle, releasing the tension and flattening out the lumbar spine. Bring your feet back down to the mat, place them on the outside edges of the mat. Bring your hands back to cactus. Take both knees to the left as you look to the right. Take a couple of breaths here. Feeling the stretch through the hips.
bring the knees to center. Exhale, take them to the right, look to the left. And take a couple of breaths. Bring your knees back to center. And then we'll go into happy baby. So hugging the knees towards the chest. And then reaching through the knees to the outside edges of your feet. And then flattening out your back. And you can lift your legs up so your soles of your feet are pointing up towards the ceiling. With your hands on the outside edge of your feet or on your ankles or shins, whatever works for you. You can use your elbows to press gently into your knees to feel a little more stretch through the groin. Let's take 4 breaths here. On each exhalation, relaxing your back a little flatter onto the mat. And then releasing your feet down. And we'll come into a bridge. We're going to slide our heels towards our buttocks. Have our hands, palms down on the mat. Inhale, lift up through the hips. Squeeze the buttocks. And you can leave your hands where they are, or you can slide them underneath you and into a clasp position. And then walk your shoulder blades a little bit closer together. Squeeze the butt. Keep pressing the hips up towards the sky. Stretching through the shoulders. Pushing the heels down into the mat. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And then release your hands, bring your body down to the mat. And we'll go into our legs up position. So you might like to have your legs up a wall or near the furniture. You can go into a shoulder stand or supported legs up with a block underneath your lower back. So whatever your position is, coming into that legs up position. Taking some deep breaths here. Giving your ankles a little bit of a twirl around. Having your legs feel nice and light. Allowing all of the fluid to drain down from your feet, through your ankles, down your legs, through the lymphatic system. You might take your feet out wide. Connecting back to the breath. And coming back to the intention of your practice. Bring the feet back together and take them over the head area into a flower pose. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And then on your next inhalation, controlling your legs back down to the mat. And coming into Savasana. If you have a blanket or an eye pillow, you can bring them, put them on, keep yourself nice and warm and cozy. So we relax into Savasana for the next 5 minutes or so, feeling nice and safe and warm. Enjoying the energy that you've cultivated during your yoga session. So you've moved your body in, now it's to come into stillness. Feeling the earth underneath your body, underneath your heels, the back of your legs, your buttocks, your upper back, shoulders, head, arms and hands. Noticing your breath. Just keep it spontaneous. Coming back into your intention, being grounded and safe. Coming back to your favorite place in nature. Imagine yourself, whether it be on a beautiful grassy field or on a beach or in the mountains, under a tree or a beautiful garden. Surround yourself in nature. Breathe in all the smells and the colors and the sounds of nature. Starting to bring your physical self back into the room. Noticing the floor beneath you, the ceiling above you, the walls and the windows. Coming back to your breath. Wiggling your fingers and toes. Stretching out your hands and your feet. And slowly rolling to one side. And coming into a comfortable seated position. I've got a couple of quotes for you today. Get lost in nature, you'll find yourself. And look deep into nature, and you'll understand everything better. That's Albert Einstein. Thank you all for being here today, for your beautiful energy, being here for yourselves and for each other. Let's bring our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts and to our lips for kind words and to our heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Thank you, ladies.
Thank God you exist, Jenny.
Oh,
I loved it.
that's good.
Beautiful classes today. Absolutely gorgeous class.